Hi guys. Welcome to our new episode. Why India is not condemning Russia? Let's start. The US wants India to condemn Russia's invasion of Ukraine, but so far the world's biggest democracy has not. India has deep ties with Moscow and some distrust of the West and big concerns about China. On March 2nd, the United Nations General Assembly voted on a resolution condemning Russia for invading Ukraine. India, which is the world's largest democracy, has abstained from the vote. It wasn't India's first abstention. India is also reportedly in talks to buy Russian oil at a discount and is seeking to find ways to maintain trade relations despite the West's sanctions against Moscow. India forged a relationship with the Soviet Union during the Cold War that has carried over into the present day because of mutual interest and nostalgia, but the biggest reason might be defense. India's arsenal is largely Soviet or Russian made, and India needs its military to counter what it sees as the biggest threat in its neighborhood, that is China's rise. India and the United States have deepened their partnership in recent years. India is a member of the Quad, along with the US, Australia and Japan, an informal alliance that came about years ago, but which both the Trump and Biden administrations have sought to strengthen. The Quad doesn't explicitly say it exists as a counterweight to Beijing. It's a grouping of democracies focused on regional cooperation and other issues. India has tried to diversify, going to the United Kingdom and France and Israel, and especially the United States, as the relationship between the US and India grew in the past few decades. Defense cooperation also strengthened to the tune of billions in arms sales, but it's still nowhere near the amount Russia provides. Even after the 10 months of war, India is not going to condemn Russia. But why? There are many factors that not allow India to condemn Russia. The primary reason is 1971 Indo-Pak War. We shall not go in details, but we will focus on main matter. When India divided into 1947, Pakistan took birth as West Pakistan to the west side of India and East Pakistan on east side of India. In early March 1971, approximately 300 Behar people were slaughtered in riots by Bengali mobs in Chittagong alone. The government of Pakistan used the Behari massacre to justify its deployment of the military in East Pakistan on the 25th of March, when it initiated its military crackdown. But this was not the actual cause to militarize East Pakistan. There were religious and racial tensions between Eastern Pakistan and the multi-ethnic West Pakistanis that escalated the tension. The Awami League leader Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, who was the leader of East Pakistan, wanted equality and assurance from West Pakistan. Mr. Sheikh Mujibur Rahman stressed his political position by presenting his 6 points movement and endorsing the Bengalis' right to govern. The League's election success caused many West Pakistanis to fear that it would allow the Bengalis to draft the constitution based on the 6 points and liberalism. And referencing the Behari massacre, West Pakistan deployed its army in East Pakistan. After deployment of Pakistani army, widespread genocide started against Bengalis in East Pakistan, and people started to take shelter as refugee in eastern states of India, and India opened its door. This shelter led to overburden in economy for India. The Indian government repeatedly appealed to the international community for assistance, but failed to elicit any response. Prime Minister Indira Gandhi on the 27th of March 1971 expressed full support of her government for the independence struggle of the people of East Pakistan and concluded that instead of taking in millions of refugees, it was economical to go to war against Pakistan. On the 28th of April 1971, the Gandhi cabinet had ordered the Chief of the Army Staff General Sam Manekshaw to go into East Pakistan. By November 1971, an Indian-Pakistani war seemed inevitable. The Soviet Union reportedly warned Pakistan against the war, which they termed as suicidal course for Pakistan's unity. On the evening of the 3rd of December, the Pakistan Air Force launched surprise preemptive strikes on 11 airfields in northwestern India, including Agra, which was 300 miles from the border. India replied to Pakistan on same day. Seeing itself losing, Pakistan sought help from America, and in response President Nixon deployed Task Force 74, led by the aircraft carrier USS Enterprise, into the Bay of Bengal. Enterprise and its escort ships arrived on station on the 11th of December 1971. Beside this, the United Kingdom also deployed a carrier battle group led by the aircraft carrier HMS Eagle to the bay. After entry of USA in war, India sought help from Soviet, and on the 13th of December, the Soviet Navy dispatched 2 groups of cruisers and destroyers from Vladivostok. They trailed US Task Force 74 into the Indian Ocean from the 18th of December 1971 until the 7th of January 1972. The Soviets also had a nuclear submarine to help ward off the threat posed by the USS Enterprise Task Force in the Indian Ocean. This was the first time when USSR backed India openly against US and Pakistan. In the war, Pakistan surrendered to India, and this results into the birth of new nation, and today we call it Bangladesh. This 1971 Indo-Pak war is the primary reason why India is not condemning Russia. And beside this, Russia had used veto power for India for more than 100 times. Russia is only country that supports India openly on Kashmir issue. Beside this, defense equipments and energy purchase are also the factors that can't be ignored. India wants to balance its partnerships in the world and its neighborhood, and it sees value in an empowered Russia, especially as a way to prevent Chinese hegemony in the region. India is concerned about Russia completely collapsing and becoming a very weak state in the global system, because India's preference is for a multipolar global system, where you have more than one overweening power. Indian officials regularly describe the relationship as one of the most trusted and consistent New Delhi has. Russia has backed up India on the global stage, from the start of their friendship in 1971 to the present day, with Russia assisting India during the peak of its COVID-19 catastrophe. Putin and Modi have met more than a dozen times, most recently in September 2022, during SCO summit. Putin himself described India as a great power, a friendly nation, and a time-tested friend.